your journey after the rehab, because that's what leads into that show on TV.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and
so
the proposal.
Oh, so you want to know how I met Wangeci?
I just want to know how you met Wangeci.
Yeah, so say to him. You know, I went to post the rehab time,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, I'd say they said there's a beauty with life when you work on yourself. Is once you work on yourself, things begin to follow you.
Sure.
And I would encourage anyone listening out there, if you're looking for marriage, I don't know, you're looking for a job, work on you. You're looking for opportunity, work on you first. Then you'll begin to attract those things that, you know, that then follow. So here I was, I'd left rehab, and then I am in Eldoret wondering what to do next. I was between jobs at that moment in time. And then I saw the ad on the TV of a Citizen of Slim Possible. And I thought, okay, I've dealt with alcoholism, maybe I should deal with weight. So I said it on my Facebook page. Incidentally, Facebook reminded me this week that I actually wrote a post. I said, should I join Slim Possible? Nilipata comments
now.
Yes, this is 2013. Nilipata
Yes.
comments kutoka kwa watu. I didn't have a lot of following then on Facebook, but the people who wrote there are like, yeah, why not? Nini, really, will you even do it? Nini? So one of my cousins who lives in Nairobi told me, hey, I'll take you.
Wow.
The Slim Possible was opening for the first time for men as well. They had always been doing ladies. But this particular season, which was season 4, they did men. So I went there, and I remember when I went there and I took, you know, I went on stage, they take your weight, then you say a few things. And I was sure they would not take me because I told them I'm from Eldoret and, you know, I'm not doing much, but I would come. And I don't know, maybe they liked the Eldoret factor, the fact that I was not, you know, nearby or something, or they wanted some, you know, how do I call it?
Balance.
Maybe.
Yes.
Because they called me about 2 weeks later.
Wow.
And they said, come. And this cousin I went with wasn't picked. You know, sometimes when I escort watu kwa mlango, nani wanaenda. So I was called, and then I came to Nairobi, back to Nairobi, and they said, you know, this program is going to run for about 4 months. Are you prepared to stay in Nairobi? I said yes. And then we started the journey. So my wife was working in Royal Media. She still is. And at that moment in time, she was doing sound for that program.
Okay.
Yeah. No, what was sound wako hapo? What was sound oye?
Edu na masamki pale kwa mitambo.
So she was doing sound. So I saw her and I thought, that's a pretty lady, and I had not started talking to her as such. I saw her talking to many people, and you know, she's half Maasai, so she wears a lot of this Maasai stuff.
Yes.
Which I really found attractive.
They really are, by the way.
But I didn't have the courage to speak to her until her boss, who's now the CS of Lands, Farida Karone, called me to her office. I think it was 2 or 3 weeks later. Farida Karone was there. She called me. She's like, come we have a chat about an MC work she wanted me to do for an event she was having. So I go to her office, and while I'm at her office, I find at the desk my wife is there. She was actually sitting in for a receptionist that day.
Wow.
So she had a computer, and on the computer were the pictures of 2 children. So I asked her, whose kids are these? And she said, these are my children. And she said, how old are they? I asked her, how old are they? And then she told me, I think at that moment in time, I think they were like 11 and 11 and 6, no, 11 and 4 or 5, you know. And we got to talking. I told her, how come you have 2 kids? And she told me she was a widow. She told me what happened. Imagine we are doing this in like 2 minutes.
All this in the very first meeting.
In the first meeting.
You're getting to talk.
And I was very intrigued that this lady had told me these things like 2 minutes in. And then I told her, I want to buy you a coffee. And I gave her my number. And she said, I don't take numbers from men.
Wow.
Nikaona huyu akona maringo, hata siku hizi namkumbushanga na uko na maringo madam. And then she told me, instead of doing coffee, she said, are you a prayerful guy? I said, I told her I'm a prayerful man. Mimi mtu wa maombi. She said, okay, fine. I'm going to a kesha tomorrow, can we go? Hey, we went to that kesha. By the way, I went there when I was tired. Nilala. You know,
the prayerful man.
She keeps on saying. You know, in that kesha, there was this guy who was. You know how you get to a kesha. The guys who are leading keshas, please, mtusaidie. Ikifika hapo saa 6, changamsha kidogo.
Jamani, si ndio?
Don't start saying that let's pray for Somalia, siji Sudan.
At 12 in the night.
At 12. Hapo sasa mtatupoteza.
I can see
hapo ndio mnaeka pambio. Musi tuchome.
Pastor Javan and Pastor Elijah, tafadhali. We have a prayer kesha in the next one. Is it 1 week? Yes. Tafadhali musi.
I like keshas by the way. I wish I could come. So, we went to a kesha and I was intrigued that a lady would take me to a kesha.
Wow.
And that is how our journey began. And 3 months later, I proposed to her.
3 months?
Yeah. 82 days.
Okay. Why are you certain? I mean, were you sure of what you're even doing?
Yeah.
Anyway, you are giving a shot.
No.
It looks like... Before we get to the proposing, you are in the show and you decide, I want to actually propose in this show.
Yes.
Live on TV, national television.
Yes.
And this Citizen, which has quite a wide coverage.
Yeah, you know, let me tell you something. I didn't decide I wanted to propose on the show. I just happened to mention to the director of the TV that time, the director of this particular show, a lady called Karo Kamau. I told her in chatting, I said, hey, you know, I met a really nice girl here. And I'm thinking of proposing to her after the show. My idea was show ishe.
Alafu propose.
Alafu ni propose. I even went and looked for a ring. And then she's like, apana, proposing the show.
Wow.
Of course, her she's looking at
numbers.
Yes.
Rating and revenue.
She's looking at
nice story.
Kitu inashika sana.
Waka.
So me, I'm thinking, okay, sawa. So I was not so sure. So that day I was actually very on edge. The other thing is I was expecting to win, of course. I was in the last 5, I was in the final 6, and there was $1 million bob up and I was expecting I'm getting it
You're
that day.
Getting the $1 million.
So I was sure I'll get this $1 million. I proposed to a lady, you know, you walk off like
and it's all
like the rider on the white horse.
Yes.
You, the horse, the loot, and the lady.
And the lady.
And but as it turns out, it wasn't to be. They called me up at number 4.
Number 4.
Which I believe, by the way, Citizen kulikuwa na rigging. But anyway.
You had I used to watch Slim Possible. I don't know why I never saw you.
Yeah.
I can't remember because I used to follow Slim Possible.
Really? The one for men?
Yes.
And you didn't see this proposal, really?
I
The
did.
ladies would remember.
Yeah, the ladies would.
I've never met ladies who don't remember.
The ladies
If they
would.
talk to me about Steve, they're like,
You're the guy who proposed.
Yeah.
Of course, Wangeci said, did she say yes?
She said yes. She was also shaking, but she said yes.
She hadn't seen it coming.
Yeah, and I became a husband and a father.
Wow. At the same time.
In one go.
Hey.
Let me tell you what. Here's this.
Double chance.
There's you know, God is interesting. You know, in my book, I lost my sister. Yes?
Yes.
And you know, I talk about her passing on. She was born on 31st of July, 1976. I have a sister-in-law born on 31st July 1976, Wangeci's sister.
Wow.
Wangeci and myself, our birthdays are a day apart. I'm 29th August, she's 30th. And we got married on 28th of August. Then we got now see, we have 2 kids.
Yes.
And then we got a third one.
A third one.
Now, this third baby was really interesting. She was supposed to be born on the 21st of August, but she hung out. She was born on my birthday at 3 minutes to midnight.
Wow.
But midnight signaled her mother's birthday. So after they cleaned her up and they got the baby okay and stuff, they wrote, the nurse looked at the birthday of the mother, akaona ni 30th, na leo ni 30th, akapea mtoto
30th.
Not knowing she was denying the father. the actual date. Alikuwa anafanya alikuwa anafanya ujambazi.
The reading you're talking about. Oh my goodness me.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have a 7 years difference. And 7 is the number of God.
Yes.
And there are so many coincidences that happen that just tell you that God was in this thing. Because even my eldest daughter, and in my book I wrote about the daughter that I lost, are born the same year.
Yeah. Oh.
I had a daughter in 201.
The US.
Yes. And I lost her. And I got a daughter who was born in 201.
And you lost a sister who was born in the 76.
Yes.
You got a sister.
I got a sister in
born
same birthday.
Actually, same day.
Same day. Same year.
This is Praise Radio.
Get ready for the revolution.